Hello guys, it's Bari here and we are back again with another video. This time around COTA, one of my favorite track in the calendar. It's super technical, super fun and usually one of my best tracks. And now we are heading to my first Q1 run. Usually it's quite tricky, like with the bare minimum warm-up to do a good lap around COTA. But now we're heading to do our first Q1 run, which is really crucial to do a good Q1 run, so you just can continue that momentum. And I think it was a good turn one. It wasn't anything crazy, but yeah, I mean it was good. We're not really looking for anything crazy in Q1. We just wanna go through, and this section looked quite clean, and this is the quite important section for sector 2. Looked a bit, like the car was a little bit sliding a bit, but we managed it quite well. Now we're going to this crucial hairpin, carry a lot of speed. I remember I realized last game there was two ways to take that corner. Once obviously you had to carry so much entry speed, and then you would gain a lot of entry. And then on entry, and then you would not really lose that much on the exit, or you just go way slower in the entry and gain everything on the exit. I usually gained everything on the entry. I just felt that it's more consistent. But nonetheless, this laps looks quite clean and quite good as well, actually. Maybe not crazy, but looks quite good. I caught on the limit, and it's actually quite good for first lap in COTA. And now we're heading to our final corner. We caught it perfectly, got the rotation perfectly around the ERS, and we did a 29.83, which is easily through. This was a really good lap. We were easily P1. These are the drivers that got eliminated. Really good stuff. And then we head into our final run in Q2. Our first run wasn't that good. We ended up being only P6, and now we're heading to our final run. We know we have to, improve. Otherwise, there's a big possibility that we could be out. And now we're going to turn 1. This time we didn't really cut it, but we got a really good exit, which was really good. Way better than our Q1 lap, I believe. And now we're heading to this section again, trying to stay as tight as possible. This one, just need to keep the car on the left and need to cut this, which we completely lost the apex. We completely lost the apex on the right-hander, and it was already not really ideal because, as you can see, we only ended up being P6. And again, this corner didn't look that good. This lap not really looking that good, but I still knew it. Like, I don't need to do a crazy lap. I just need to do a clean lap, barely improve, and I will be fine. And then going to this left-hander, which was super tricky. We caught it quite well. We gained a good amount of lap time. And now we're going to last sector, 1.5 tenths up on Yorno. And now going to last sector, to this tricky hairpin. We got it quite well. And yeah, I mean, we are 60 up now. We know we don't need to improve by 3 tenths. We need to improve barely and we will be fine. Going to penultimate corner, which is super easy to invalidate. I did it quite well, and then we're going to our last corner. We caught it quite well. We are improving by 10th, which would put us in P2, which is easy. And Yarno did an absolute banger, by the way. I think he did a really good lap. End of Q2, and we end up going to Q3. Merck is out. Eastone is out in Q2, which is quite crucial for us because we are still behind Merck, and obviously we're looking forward to catch that point. And now we're heading to our final lap in Q3. We already had a good banker, which were P2, but yeah, let's go. Turn 1, we actually locked the front a bit. It was not ideal, I can tell you that. It was quite mid. We were looking at to do a 0.4s in sector 1 in Q3 final run. We cut it quite well. We did the 5.3, which is for only one corner. I lost a bit, and this section was actually quite good. We are actually up on our time, and I think that time was already like a mid 5, so we knew like a low 4, high 3 would give us a really good opportunity to fight for pole or front row for sure. And now we are 70 up, and I remember my last sector wasn't the best. And now we're heading to this tricky corner that you had to cut so much, and there's a big possibility that you will invalid it. And we completely lost the corner. That was awful. We lost a 10th, maybe even more. And yeah, the lap not looking good now, and we knew we just need to clutch the lap in the last sector. So I'm absolutely sending everything in the last sector. We gain a good amount of time, but still not really big amounts because of our big mistake in that left-hander. And going this corner, we fully cut it. We gain a lot of lap time. Going to last corner is really crucial. We again didn't do it that good. And we barely improved, and we did a 4-6.
Broumand trying to take provisional pole. He's got it. He's into the 29.4s. But
Otis Lawrence actually beat us and Thomas Ronhaar, and we're starting in P3, I'm quite sure. But yeah, I mean, overall was a good quali. I'm happy. Like, it's just top 5 is just quite good, to be honest. And now you're looking at the starting grid. Yeah, looking at top 8, Jarno starting P7. My teammate did a really good job as well, starting P6. Freddy behind me, I'm starting P3, and I have Thomas and Otis in front of me. We knew it's going to be a long race. Softs are unusable, and let's get into the race. We're starting on hards, like Otis and Thomas. We got a good getaway, but then the second phase wasn't the best. I think we have Freddy already like up the inside of us. We tried to give him a little bit of space, and now here he's ahead of us. Like, and I'm just trying everything to keep him behind, because obviously we don't want to go to 4th. And we actually risked a little bit of our race, but luckily it paid off, and we stayed in front of Freddy, which was really crucial, because before the race we were looking forward for me to, if it's possible, I get to top 2 position. So maybe for the pit I can lead and go into the pit, which would be crucial for our race and to be in a better position. But right now we kept P3. We just need to get a little bit confident, get a little bit comfortable with the track. As I said, this track is quite tricky in general. We covered not fully, but just a little bit on the middle of the track in case Freddy wanted to dive almost. Here we're just getting back to our momentum, not destroying the tires, just chilling. No need to risk anything now, just need to recharge the battery a bit, because we know, obviously, even if we want to go for the move, we're not really gonna try to go for a move right now. First we're gonna let the DRS be open, and then we're just gonna see what we can do, because as I said, that was the plan, to get to top 2, but we never really was like the main target. We just said if we can, it would be ideal. And now we're heading to lap 7, which, as you can see, Otis and Thomas were playing together, passing each other, and we're actually quite close to back of Thomas. And we knew that they're going to be so much painful, but we knew our race pace is really good, usually in COTA. This corner is quite tricky, and our setup was actually quite good in that section. But now we are quite close to Thomas, under 310s. And we just need to do a good corner, good hairpin, and we absolutely did a banger one, I think. And now we're actually trying to go for top 2 position now. As I said, it was the plan. I'm using ERS, Otis goes defensive. And as you can see, we're going around the outside of Otis. He gave us just enough room. And here we're trying to squeeze him a bit. We had a little bit of a contact, but we actually made the move done, covering the inside for this hairpin. And we are actually did what we wanted to do before the race, which is always really good to happen for us. And now we used a lot of ERS. Now we just again gonna recharge our ERS and chill a bit. No need to overtake Thomas, but at the same time I had to, a little bit keep my eye on Otis in case he wanted to push me. But now we're heading to lap 11, again behind Thomas, chilling. But I knew this lap's gonna be the laps that maybe we aiming to box. So I was always, speaking to engineers to to see what is our option, what should I do. If they want me to pass them, I will just do it. So, because they obviously have a plan in their mind. So if I can help them, then it would be crucial for our race. I was actually quite good in that hairpin. Now I'm watching at it. I was doing it quite good, cutting it perfectly. And now we're going to make a move on Thomas. We're actually going for the move, and now we're gonna lead the race for the first time in COTA, which is actually leading in this track is not bad because of the dirty air is actually so bad. As you can see, the car actually turns so much better. No understeer, the car is way more predictable, just no dirty air. In this track it's quite easy to get warning the track limits. So if you lead, I know you have to push, but at the same time you don't get random understeer. We didn't box this lap, but you guys can see my teammate boxed. So I knew when he's in F1 is always like this. When the first guy to pit, the next lap, most of the time, there is going to be bunch of people boxing, because obviously for covering him, obviously to box and undercut more people. And this lap, it was so crucial, I got told, that I do a really good right-left to keep the lead. And as you saw, I absolutely nailed right-left. Absolutely nailed it. Gained a lot of lap time. It was barely invalid, but we absolutely sent it. And it was a really good one. 7.5 tenths gap. We're using a lot of ERS on the straight to keep the lead. Because obviously we're planning to box this lap. And I checked the tires as well. We're not really using the outside curb in the race for the braking, because usually you're locking, so you're destroying tires. And here we're trying to slow down a bit. As you will see, we're slowing down a lot to help our teammate to undercut a bit more, because he didn't really want to push his tires, because obviously he already pitting quite early. We are not pushing at all to help our teammate a bit. Maybe we could do it a bit more looking at it now, but obviously in the moment it's hard. Freddy also boxed with us, so Freddy also is on the same strategy as us, and he's gonna have a battle with me and Nico. Obviously Nico boxed one lap earlier, which lap we're already boxing. We're going from hard to medium, so we already have to do a lot of lap on medium, which is tire advantage in this track is quite tricky, if I want to be honest. But we made our decision that we thought people gonna box way earlier. People are gonna box 11, 12. I even was thinking, if Nico box 11, if somebody follows him, I'm gonna get undercut like big amount as well. Doesn't matter if like 4 people box, I'm gonna be like net P5, because undercut here was like 2 seconds if you would push a bit. But Nico didn't push at all to save his tires, because he already boxed so early. And now heading lap 14, only Alfie bit it. So our strategy looking really bad, because people didn't box. It's always like that. You can guess what's gonna happen, but if you're on the right side of the strategy, always gonna be, oh, we nailed the strategy. But we actually really thought, when the undercut is so big, we actually thought people gonna box so early from P9, P10 to gain as much advantage as possible. But nobody pitted. And tire advantage, I can tell you, it's so big here. It's a lot. And here looking at it, we kind of thought our race is over, not gonna lie. Me and Nico were not really happy with the position we are. We're gonna have such a bad tire compared to everyone. And it's quite hard to defend because of tire advantage. And again, some people boxing, like Jarno, Alvaro. And if you remember, Nico boxed 11 and I boxed 12. And we need a fast pace. And Freddy also passed Nico. And here Nico didn't really, I think, try to defend him, because we knew we shouldn't really lose lap time, because we can't. And I would love to play with Freddy a bit, but obviously I had a little bit of a fear. Freddy already had a really tough event, and maybe he's not even thinking about himself anymore. He just want to play for Jarno. So if he gets ahead of me, maybe he slowed down a bit to help Jarno, because if Jarno catches like 1 lap earlier than what he has to, then it's over for us. I mean, at this point, I really thought it's over anyway, because 10 laps and he's only 3 seconds behind us. You know, at that point, I really thought it's over, because he had like 4 laps tire advantage, 3 laps tire advantage, which might not sound that crazy, but in this track, it's crazy, guys. It's mind-blowing. Nonetheless, I let Freddy pass. You know, I had to, you know, chill a bit, save like for like cool down tire a bit, because in this track it was overheating a tiny bit, and also let Freddy push a bit, because he wasn't really planning to slow down, obviously. And for your information, Thomas, I think, pitted even like two laps later than Jarno, so he pitted like lap 16, I think, and he's so close to the train. We knew if probably Thomas gonna be, you can't stop Thomas, because he's gonna have such a crazy tire compared to everyone, and you can't really defend that. It's impossible. And here we're just trying to, you know, not really use ERS, not really use the tire, and just have a good pace, follow Freddy. And again, but Jarno is P4, and he need to gain only 3/10 to get on Nico's DRS, which not really looking good, if I want to be honest with you guys. And here we stay as close as possible to Freddy. I think Nico is super close as well. Maybe he's trying to pass as well with us, with me. And we're pushing our ERS. I think Freddy also using a bit. Nico not using, actually. I think because, you know, we already have such a bad tire compared to everyone. And he also pitted 1 lap earlier than us, which he has to save tire if you want to have any chance of defend from the people behind of him. And as you can see now, Thomas is in the train with Jarno, and you can see that in the map there's a bunch of drivers with us now, so we are actually in the train now. And imagine you're in the train, even if you're leading in the track like COTA, you know you have the worst tire out of everyone, obviously after Nico. So you just always gonna have that. You're always gonna have that worry. The moment they catch you and they are behind you, any side by side is for them. So it's just so hard to play it perfectly. Sometimes you have to just give up a position to not lose like 4 or 5, which is maybe easy to say right now, but when you're in that situation, you just don't think about it most of the time. But we are nailing this right left. I was absolutely loving how I was driving, not gonna lie. I was actually trying to maybe get even a warning sometimes, but I was just nailing it. I was just perfectly doing it every lap like a robot. It was crazy. And then here again, Freddy going for a move actually, and my teammate didn't really defend from Thomas as well, as you saw. As I said before, there is sometimes no point to fight for one position, because you're gonna use your tire, you're gonna use your ERS, and you're gonna use everything. And we're going defensive on Thomas, because obviously we don't want to make it easy for him. We like to have this position like P2 to have the DRS from Freddy, because I can use Freddy's DRS and defend from Thomas, and we have a lot of ERS as well to play with. But again, we kind of knew it's gonna be nearly impossible to defend from Thomas. I'm trying to tell him we can kind of pass Freddy together on track, because at that point I gave up on Thomas. I knew he's gonna win the race. He has, you know, such a big advantage on tire, and it's just impossible to defend him. And I would rather be with him and play with him And even if you want to win the race, I would still rather, get a P2 from this situation that we boxed so early and get out of this race. And at this point, I really thought I'm not even going to finish top 4. If I want to be honest with you guys. We just have no grip. Like losing the rear tires are just not that good anymore. We're using our ERS to pass Freddy. Because otherwise Thomas would pass us. But here, we're giving room to Freddy, but still, we kinda just try to keep it as clean as possible. Freddy fully dived on us, hit us a bit, but he's just trying to defend from Thomas. And maybe it's not bad for us as well, that Freddy was defending from Thomas, but nonetheless, Thomas passed Freddy and Freddy let Jarno pass. Obviously, they are teammate. And unfortunately, our teammate is getting eaten alive because the reason I told you. I already pitted quite early and he pitted 1 lap earlier than me. And it's just so hard. Like, it's so hard to manage that situation. Like, if you use your gears a tiny bit more, maybe too much wheel spin, your race is over. Like, you just even have worse tire, you have less ERS, and everybody gonna just overtake you. But he's still trying his best to manage the race. And here, Thomas is super close to us. I really wished he would pass, and he did. And we had a good gap to Jarno, so I could just chill now. Save ERS, because we don't have that much. We have like 50-60%, which is a good amount, but I would rather have a lot of ERS, because obviously going to this last few laps, I thought maybe opportunity that I can keep this P2. But it's going to be so hard. It's going to be, I need to do basically 5 quali laps. And without fully destroying the tires, because obviously I had Jarno behind me, which is usually he's quite good at making moves and in this race situation. So it's quite hard to keep him behind, but I knew if I can have a good run always on that uphill right left, always keep my ERS high, it might be possible. But luckily Freddy was P4. So I knew even at the worst scenario, if Jarno really passed us, we still on the same tire as Freddy. Freddy actually have a really good race as well. He's really managing as well to not really lose that many places, considering we're not really on a good strategy, all of us. And here again, we had a good run out of that uphill right left. And as long as Jarno is not super close to us, we can manage to do that. We had a really good run again out of this hairpin, again using a bit of ERS to make sure Jarno doesn't really surprise us. And then here, really always checking the gap to Jarno. And then if I see I'm safe, I'm just going to none to save ERS, so I can use it for the next few laps. Again, just no grip compared to Thomas. No grip. Like, I'm sure if Thomas would have pushed all of his ERS, and obviously he would like drive without any mistake, I think I would literally get out of his DRS because of how big of a tire advantage he has. But luckily, he's not really. I think he also would rather me finishing P2. Obviously, Jarno was, I think, leading the championship in this round, or Isma. So he's also playing a catch-up game. And obviously, he's thinking about Jarno. So yeah, also one of the reasons could be that, and also the reason why he should make a risk, why he should push his whole energy, his whole tire to make a gap. And if he doesn't, then he doesn't have any ERS for the rest of the race. And me and Jarno would both pass him. I know he has a crazy tire advantage, but if you don't have ERS, it's nearly over. And again, we're just trying to keep it clean, trying to get a good exit. And Jarno is super close this time. He's less than 4 tenths, 3.5 tenths. And we knew we're gonna use our ERS. We're not gonna make any risk. We're going to non-mode again. I knew the gap is good enough for Jarno to not really try anything. We messed up that corner and he's super close to us. Here we knew in that hairpin we always have to keep an eye on him, and we're going super defensive, making sure he doesn't really dive from us. Again, it's so hard to defend, guys. He's falling less than 2/10. He's literally on our gearbox. And again, we just should keep it calm. No need to do anything stupid. Just need to keep our tires alive as much as we can and keep our ERS as high as possible. And that's it. Like, that's all we have to do. And it sounds quite easy, but obviously when you have Jarno behind you on a way better tire, it's quite hard. But again, we started P3 and we knew even if the strategy didn't really go our way, still finishing P2 is a dub, you know. I would rather finish P1, but sometimes in these scenarios you just have to think actually and don't really make decision with your feelings. And when you know you're on a wrong side of the strategy and you basically, this is the best you can do, you always have to take it and, you know, you already tried your best, try your best and finish as best as you can in the situation you are in. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. I knew if I could make this P2 happen, it probably would be one of the best races I've ever done, considering how hard it is. But yeah, we're doing it quite good right now, and we don't have tires. You can see on the bottom right, we already passed 60%. And yeah, we just don't have any grip. As Thomas missed the apex by big margin, but doesn't matter. I really like that Thomas make a good gap, like 6/10 out of the hairpin, 7/10. So I can use that gap and use ERS and defend from Jarno. Because I knew even if I want to have any chance to maybe battle with Thomas, it's going to be last lap. Because even if I pass him this lap, he has way better tire than us than to get super close to us and pass us on the straight. But the problem is we just don't have any grip to really think about winning the race. Even P2 is really optimistic, but for some reason we're just trying to hold Jarno. We're just absolutely nailing that right left. I remember even lap 25, 24, when I was speaking with Jona, my engineer. He told me, like, try to nail that uphill always. And even because I think we didn't have any warning, and he said even if you get warning, it doesn't matter. Because we could get like 2 warnings, and even if I get track limits like once or twice, doesn't matter because, you know, I still haven't got any track limits. And that was at my aim to maybe even get a track limit, but for some reason I was just peaking it every lap. I was just nailing it. And yeah, I'm just driving really well with these tires, considering the tires have no grip. I'm basically driving one of the best races I have ever done in my life. And we go into last lap. Oh, we had a big moment. There's no tire, there's no grip. I had a little bit of a fear here. What if Thomas gaps us and then it's over for us? We might even end up P4. Don't have that much ERS because we have to keep up with Thomas. We have 40%. But again, we go into this section, we knew we have to do, like, we have to nail out. You can see the car, nearly I lost the car. There's no tire, but we still pushing the car so much, cutting this one, fully cut the left one as well. And we absolutely nailed the right left once again. We gapped Jarno. And we go into this hairpin, no grip. I had to correct the steering wheel so many times. But I know right now the gap is perfect, is literally good enough to keep Jarno behind, and obviously it's too big to make anything happen with Thomas. Jarno had a good left under, but I knew his main chances is going to be this corner And again, we're going defensive. We're not going to take any risk to give him any chance to try his chances. And yeah, we managed this race perfectly. We just need another 2 clean corner. I'm going to bring home P2 after starting P3, and we fully misjudged the strategy. And yeah, we brought home P2, and I think my teammate finished P9. Yeah, which was a tough race for him. We tried to manage the race as best as we can, but obviously the strategy wasn't the best. But yeah, I mean, nonetheless, still good race for me. Tough race for Nico. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the race. It was a really challenging one. But we are actually back in the championship. We are super close now. I think less than 25 points, or maybe around that. Going to the next 4 races. So yeah, looking forward to the next 4 races. And thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao.